If you want me to left, just call the police. That's all.
You can say about. Because I'm school, you think I'm a fool, but I want you to know that I won't be a fool. Get out the house. I say to get out the house. Promise to love you and no other man still you talking to Gabby right now. Dragon, get out the house. Woman, woman, woman. I say to get out the house. Watch yourself. You got to go. You got to leave my place. I want you to know you is a big disgrace. Woo! Get out the house. I say to get out the house. Watch yourself. Giving up money, giving up clothes. Now you act a real funny guy, you're looking for blows. Get out the house. Watch yourself. I say to get out the house. Take you to the party, you make me ashamed. Eat like a piggy, you give me bad name. Get out the house. I say to get out the house. You got to go. You got to leave my place. I want you to know you is a big disgrace. Woo! I say to get out the house. Get out the house. I want you to ring, you want to be like a queen. But let me tell you something, girl, you got to be clean. Get out the house. I say to get out the house. One bit of soap, you smell like a goat. If you don't leave my house, I can cut your throat. Get out the house. Woman, 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 woman. I say to get out the house. You got to go. You got to leave my place. Woman, give me room. I want you to know you is a big disgrace. Woo!
Get up the
I
house.
said to get out the house. Get out the
Good
house.
night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, good night, good night. This is the Marcia Week Show, and we are coming to you live from Barbados. On the Marcia Week Show, we educate, we agitate, we mobilize, we motivate Africa and the African diaspora. Oh my goodness, guys, I've never heard this song before until I think Dave played it the other night, and then my second time hearing it, but my first time listening to it. Some of it is a little abusive there, but the general gist is that this man is saying, woman, you have to go. You got to know you are a disgrace. You are a disgrace. You got to leave. Get out my house. Oh, my goodness. Good night, everybody. Good night, good night, good night. How are we doing? Tonight, we are keeping the pressure on. Barbados, we love you. That's our theme tonight. Everything that we do on this channel, it is because we love Barbados. It's out of love. It is out of love. We have been pushing 4 nights a week, not because we want to, and not because we have nothing else to do, is what I want to say. You know, it's not that we, we're sitting down and, just putting our fingers and we say, well, I don't have anything to do. All the guests, they come on. Dr. Ferdinand hosts. We have Rose Carbin, and everybody prepare themselves to come on to research. We have Maxine McLean, Glenn Murray. Now we have Mr. Lewis, Victor Lewis and Nigel is getting, coming on a bit more now. And you say, why do they keep coming, Shaquani Hunt? Listen, there is a love for this beautiful country. There is a love for Barbados. It is because of the love of country why we are on. And we believe, guys, that we have to keep the pressure on. Keep the pressure on. We get up in the morning, noon, and night. Sometimes all 12 o'clock at night, people sending me things. I am telling you. So, Junie Rock, we can't go tired. We can't go weary in well-doing. I want to big you all up tonight before I move on. Guys, you are on. You log on. You log on. And you make this possible. You like and you share. And we're doing it together. If we don't have you, guys, it can't work. It doesn't happen. The education cannot happen. There's nobody to agitate. There's nobody to mobilize. There's nobody to motivate. And Joseph, when we look back and we see all that we were able to accomplish since we have begun, it's quite a lot. Quite a lot. Till now we're seeing a crack. There is a crack in the cabinet. We're looking at the cabinet. We go in the kitchen and we look at the cabinet and we're seeing this fissure. We're seeing this crack. We see this hole. We see something is happening in the cabinet, folks. Listen, this is from being on here all the time. That's the cabinet there. You see the crack is happening in the cabinet. And we're going to talk about that. They can't pretend anymore. There is a crack. In fact, some people believe that is the whole door fall off the cabinet. Yeah, anybody believe the whole door fall off the cabinet? Vernon Garns, we cannot give up. Shams World, we cannot give up, right? Yeah. Judy Jilks, we can't give up. Owen Hines, we come on and we're here 4 nights a week. Listen, we can't give up. This is our beautiful Barbados that I've come to love. Some of you were born here, but I've come to love this place. And when I see it falling apart, Taroni, it hurts my heart. And somebody says to me, Marcia, why don't you don't bother with come on, 4 nights a week. We probably can, do less. No, why are we going to do less now? No, this is not where we push harder, Marcia. Marcia, this is where we push harder, Marcia. Jacqueline, Aline, what? We're not retreating, Nigel Carrington, Jeffrey Sobers. We can't retreat. And I often think of you guys. My husband will tell you sometimes we're here tired. I say, oh my Lord, and I remember you all. We have a relationship. We have a love relationship, His Harris. We share something in common, and it is Barbados. I hear you. I hear you, and I feel your heart, and I feel your concern. And I'm telling you, as long as there's breath in my body, Sharon Ennis and Joy and Faith, and once you are coming on, I'm here for you. You're coming on. I'm here for you. I tell people this Marcia Week show, it is so you, Machio. It is so you, Beverly Prescott. This is your show. And that's why at 9 o'clock, we have reconfigured the show. And at 9 o'clock is when you call in. This is your time. Your time, Diana Husbands, to speak up. Mystic Angel. Yeah, Bonnie, how you doing? Trevor Stewart, it is your time to speak up. Open your mouth and speak out. I don't know if Dave have the chorus of that song we can play. Open your mouth and speak out. Just the chorus. Sharon Innes, I know I haven't done the anthem yet, but we're going to get to the anthem. We're going to do the anthem and then we do the open the mouth and speak out. It's a song, Nikki Tay, and I want everybody, come on. Let this be the year that we shake off fear. Let this be the year that we look at fear and we say, absolutely, no more will you control our lives. No more will you control our lives. Lyric, Louis Jilks, Anthony Oliver, freedom from, freedom for democracy and integrity. Marsha Hines, hey, my friend Marsha. David Bowen, forward forever. Listen, guys, we don't stop. We're not cooling out. We don't stop, folks. We have to keep going. This is important. It is important. This is not about party politics. Judy Jilks, if I was, listen, I could never be doing this for no part. Nobody can pay me to do what I'm doing here. Do you understand what I'm telling you? This has nothing to do with pay or anything. We deliberately don't want any advertising on the show. I don't want nobody come and tell me what I can say, right? What I can say. The day I will have to report to somebody about what I can say, you understand? Then what's the point? Now, I do have my legal people I check in with and ask them questions, because one of the things Maxine McLean always said, Marcia, we don't want this whole thing to shut down. So we still have to be careful. And so I have those people that I check with. But apart from that, there's nobody that's going to come and tell me what I can say and what I can't say on here. You understand? And tell me, oh, don't touch that one. You know, Beverly, it's a little sensitive. No. That's not what we're about. Yeah. That's not what we are here, because we love our country. That hasn't changed. We must keep the pressure on. There is a crack. We keep the pressure on. We keep it going. We keep it going. Tonight, folks, we want to ask some serious questions about who really owns the Holetown Civic Center. We're asking questions. I'm not coming on here making any allegations. I'm going to ask some questions. We're going to look at what's happening in Holetown and the Prime Minister and her relationship with developers. We have to look at it. It's in the newspaper. I will show you the clips and let you ask the question. We put our leaders there. We want to know exactly what is happening. What is the relationship with this government and ICBL? I thought that ICBL was the company that it was. They claimed that one of the MPs, member of parliament from one of the yes, who was in the government, Danville Innes, name just slipped me there a while ago. That he was mixed up into some, according to them, some corruption with ICBL. So all these things we must ask as a people, and so we're going to delve into that a little bit tonight, and we're going to talk about Gibbs Gully as well, and give you a little history and so on. We all mix it up tonight, but it's going to all happen here on the Marcia Week show tonight. We're going to do this together tonight. We're working together tonight, folks. Don't leave me. Don't fall asleep now, because we want to do it together. Huh? We're going to do it together tonight, folks. Yes. So let us, we are keeping the pressure on because we love Barbados, and it's all about Barbados. When it's not about Barbados, we could fold it up and go. So let's stand at the playing of the national anthem of Barbados.
Bright
yes, Barbados, yes, Barbados, yes, Barbados, yes, Barbados. We are keeping the pressure on because we love Barbados. It's about Barbados. Every square inch, it's about Barbados. And before we move on, I told you that we're going to play a song for you. Open your mouth and speak out. But we've not been able to find it. It says, open your mouth and speak out, open your mouth and shout, right? And I want to encourage you all, guys, let this be a year. Let this be a year where you say to yourself, I'm going to do something that I normally would not do. What is it that I would normally be so afraid of that I wouldn't want to speak out on? We watch in horror. Oh, how many of you saw that video of the young lady from St. Vincent? How many of you saw what happened? I can't watch that twice at all. I had the opportunity of speaking with her this evening. And once she feels better, she's going to come on the show, which we're going to have her on the show here. And she's going to talk about just activism, in as a woman. She's a woman, and she is pushing against corruption in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that is what happened to her. I watched that and I cried because I said, you know what? The way that things are going, this is what they will do to me. People like myself, and not just me, but anybody who speaks out. This is what they would like to do here in Barbados. But you see, they're able to do that in St. Vincent and the Grenadines because that prime minister has been there for 5 terms. 5 terms, guys. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 terms. You believe that? 5 terms. And I know I don't. You know what, Dave? If I can just send you something, I'm just gonna just change course here a little bit, and share something with you, Dave. That if you could play, I'm gonna send you something just for those who haven't seen that video. Just a little bit of that video of that young woman. She's a teacher. From St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and she went to tender her resignation. Okay, she went to tender her resignation, and because she has been speaking out against against corruption in the education system. Because she has been speaking out about corruption in the education system, they called the police on her, dragged her on the ground, dragged her out down flights of steps. I spoke with her today. They drag her down the steps. The woman, she passed in Barbados. We said she passed water on herself. Just had a baby 5 months ago, and she has the footage there where she did nothing. She wasn't shouting before. After they came and started to grab her, she started to shout. But the footage is there. Yes, Oswald Newton said he saw that. Yes, I cried. Dave, it's in your WhatsApp. Let me just, yes. Well, I just feel like doing that now. So let me just take the until my first guest comes. Folks, I want us to look at that, and we're just going to take a peek at this because you know what, it's happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we understand that it's just a few what's about 45 minutes by plane from here that it happened. The last time when they burst the prime minister head over there because of what he was doing to the people, he was brought to Barbados here. There's a connection between Barbados and St. Vincent. I need you to understand something, Barbados. This is why this show exists. I am telling you, this is why Mr. Thorne is fighting so hard in Parliament. Is that we do not have a one-party state. Ralph Gonsalves, after having allegations, and I can say it, of sexual impropriety and abuse, and even lots of sexual abuse of females in his country. It's in the newspaper, online. I'm not speaking anything that is not online. And he has been in power for over 25 years. And he's seeking to get a 6th term. That is what they're facing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that regime has been so hard on the people. This is not the first woman that has been abused, the first activist that has been abused by the police. Do you remember Adriana King? So that regime, what they do to women. There is a mentality and there's a philosophy of abuse of women. The Prime Minister's son, it's alleged, and it's in the newspaper, it's in the St. Vincent newspaper. Go and look it online. The allegations on the Prime Minister's son, who is a Minister of Finance, there are allegations of impropriety towards women and abuse of women. There's also, and they have covered up. And what happened is that these prime ministers, they cover up for each other. There's there's another prime minister who believes that they are a world leader, who there are allegations of abuse of women, sexual impropriety over there in St. Vincent too. I can't call any names on that, because they might drag me down the steps like they did to this woman. Yes, the Vinces will tell you, and you can also find it online. But that family has been paid off. Where there was a young woman who was involved in a relationship with a prime minister, and the prime minister, after they cut it off, beat off the socks off of her, or beat off the black off of her skin, as they would say. Right there in St. Vincent. But you know what? One prime minister covered for another prime minister, and nobody bring any accountability. They meet up there at CARICOM, right? A lot of these leaders, and they're involved in this kind of behavior. We said it on the show, women and children not safe. Not safe. All that she did was to bring her papers to the Ministry of Education. The videos are there. And she went to try to resign. Do you know that when she reported the corruption, you know what they did? As I said, I spoke to her this evening myself on the phone. She's hoarse from the screaming. I spoke to her, and she said to me, "Ma'am, they stopped my paycheck because I decided to complain about corruption inside the Ministry of Education." But these prime ministers, these are things that if you're a prime minister, you're another prime minister in another country, you meet up at CARICOM, and you're going to tell me these kind of glaring issues that are happening, especially with women. There are several rape charges alleged. Go and read it online. I'm not making up anything. I hear about another famous prime minister that travels the world and goes over to Guyana, and they have to feed that famous prime minister all these young girls. And let me tell you, those little girls are talking. We see what is happening in Guyana now. Now you have some of those in government there, some of those little Indian little girls that they are abusing, sexually abusing them. Underage girls. They are now speaking up. And I tell you, I hope these ladies, I hope these young ladies will have the courage to speak up. We see in the newspaper today a pastor and singer in Barbados here being that's it, you know, charged and being tried at the moment. Of course, everybody is innocent. Okay, until proven guilty. So I'm not saying, but I'm saying that the person is guilty. What I am saying to us is that there is this pervasive, abusive relationship, or abusive. We're abusive to women and children. But then we'll see in Barbados, it seems like women are, oh, they're going up the ladder. Oh, women are thing. But listen, when you think about it, look at even what happened to our Barbie. Or intelligent Barbie, because whenever I say Barbie, I don't want you to think I'm saying that she's a dumb blonde. I'm just, you know, out of fun, I say Barbie because she's so pretty and very, you know, always put together. But yes, I'm going to play the video, Dave. I keep talking, but I'm going to play a little bit of the video. If Dave could put it back for me, I would really appreciate it. Yeah. So I'm saying to us folks that let's take a look at this video here. This is what has happened in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and it is not the first time. Go ahead, Dave.
Henry, I am here at the Service Commission to deliver triplicate. Mister, do not touch my phone. Do not touch my. I am here to deliver triplicates of my letter of resignation. In order to submit my letter of resignation, I need to know how many vacation days I have. I have 30 minutes of footage where I am asking for my vacation days information and the cover letter to support my resignation. Do you believe these people call a whole platoon to say I am disturbing the peace? I am literally waiting. I have footage since I have entered the ministry. Yes. Since I have entered this ministerial building, I have live footage of everything that I have done. I have not shown any situation where I am disrupting the peace. These people, instead of telling me how many vacation days I have, instead of divulging how many vacation days I have, these people have called the police for me. Here are my triplicates. I am up here doing business. Let me read my documents. I am writing to formally resign from my position as a teacher within the Ministry of Education, effective immediately. I am asking for my vacation days. These people call the police. Stop jamming upon me. I'm a married man. I'm a married woman. Stop jamming up. Listen, stop touching me. I am a married woman. Marshall, I let go. Let go of. Let go of me. Let go of me. Marshall, these people are arrested. Marshall, these people are pulling me. What have I had? I have not done anything. I am running. Help me! Police! These people are arresting me. I have not done anything. Let me go! What am I doing? What am I doing? Let me go! Let me go! Police! Help me! Let me go! Bring my phone for me, please, somebody! These people are manhandling me. I'm a woman. I just had a child. I'm not in my earphones back up. Let me go. Let me go. Take her from the mail. This is abuse. This is abuse of my face.
Yeah, it's triggering. It's too much. It's really too much. Honestly, mm, I can't watch it twice. I was in here bawling yesterday watching that video. It's on the channel. It's on Africa Bridge TV network. You can watch it at your own leisure, but I would not put all of us through that. Again, at the end of the video, you saw her. She's disheveled. She's explaining that she's just had her baby 5 months. So and what happened is that she was so scared she wet herself. She also explained that when they finally got her, she went to the police station. They literally push her in a cell, and she asked to use the bathroom. They would never let her use the bathroom. They wouldn't let her call her husband. They wouldn't let her call a lawyer, and she had to urinate right there in the cell, and found a bottle to urinate in. And you know what, at the end of the day, when they called the commissioner and so on, she said what happened is that they just told her to get her stuff and leave. You believe that? She was not kept there. She wasn't put on bail, nothing like that. That means something went wrong there. Yeah, you understand? I want to have a night where we talk about victims, because, and I know we plan to do that, but we're dealing with the whole thing about the land, because that is an issue. Because a lot of people are not speaking out, because we, the public, we are not, we see something like this and people say, well, why is she screaming like that? Why all of a sudden you start to blame her? You understand? And that is why, people who are abused, sometimes they don't come forward, okay, because of what we do. And we need to have a show that we're talking about victims, and how we as a culture, how we treat victims. And a lot of these abusive prime ministers, a lot of these people that are condoning abuse in their countries, and they themselves are abusive, they need to be brought to justice. But how can they be brought to justice when they are the ones, they're making the laws? How will they be brought to justice? Our guest is coming in. I just take 2 minutes and say this. We have situation here where people can remember that the attorney general, when there's a particular person was attorney general, I personally know of women whose hands were broken by past people who were attorney general. I'm not calling any names. People who, when they were attorney general, they take their teeth and bite up people in this country. Women who have to go to QEH, and nothing has come out of it. Beat their lovers to sickness. Beat the lovers, that when the police comes, the neighbors call the police, and when the police see who it is that's beating these young women, then the police had to leave. That is environment that we live in. And we hear these stories, and all we do is whisper and laugh about it. There are several women in this country whose hands were broken and foot broken by people in power, people who are supposed to protect them. And they could do nothing about it because of the power that they have, the power that was wielded over these people. And it's the same thing that happened in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And this is what they are, birds of a feather. They flock together. And none of them able to bring correction to the next. What a shame. We will soon hear the young ladies that this very famous prime minister goes to Guyana, and they have to be feeding them, those young ladies. You soon hear the stories. I pray that those young women come out and talk. Yeah. But let's come back to what is happening here in Barbados. where we're seeing an overdevelopment is happening. And we are crying out for this. And let me tell you, folks, we have to keep the pressure on. And tonight we have with us Sunny. We're gonna say we call her Sunny. Lynn, but Lynn Boynton is on with us tonight. Let me welcome her to the Marcia Week Show. Welcome, Lynn.
Thank you, Marcia. Lovely to be here. Thank you for asking me on. And good evening, everybody. Good evening, loyal opposition, and everybody who's watching.
Oh my goodness, it's a pleasure. I've just met this this woman and only about 2 weeks ago, Lynn, that we've met.
It feels like long. I feel like I've known you for all my life, Marcia.
Let me tell you, don't you see her soft spoken voice there, soft her tone? Don't let it fool you. This woman is a fighter. She is a fighter. She's like me. She's grown in love with Barbados, and she is fighting for Barbados to regain, to keep its soul, to keep who we are, to keep its heritage. So again, Lynn, welcome. And talk to us about what's happening there at Gibbs. I know you've said it a couple of times, but there are parts of the story that we don't all hear, because people see you and they're like, how did she start doing this? Did they, have they gotten a lawyer? People ask me, what have they done? So can you take us on that journey? What have you done so far related? Tell us what's happening at Gibbs, what the issue is, and what you've done so far.
Right, okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to just tell you something that I bet a lot of people, even Bajans, won't know. But Barbados is geologically unique in the world. It's made from the silt or whatever comes down the Orinoco River, and that is what's formed Barbados. And it is the only island in the world that is built of the way it is. So it's really important that we keep Barbados as beautiful as it is. It's unique also in its heritage and its charm. So I'm really passionate, as you know, about doing my bit to keep Barbados as special as it is. My heart belongs here and I very much love it. So that's where I'm coming from personally. But in terms of the gully, about 2 years ago, a neighbour of mine whose property abuts the gully came over and told me that she'd been visited by a developer who had told her that he had to visit her because he was planning to build in the gully which abuts her property. He asked her to keep it very quiet, but she didn't, she told me. And that was the first mistake, because I wasn't going to keep this quiet.
So the developer asked the neighbor to keep it quiet?
Correct. And I believe from my dealings with Town and Country Planning, or whatever they're calling themselves this week, is that they actually should, the developer, write to everybody who's going to be affected by a proposed development. And he hasn't done that at all. No, he was supposed to. Well, I got in touch with Town and Country Planning and I said, well, Gibbs Gully is actually a natural water course. So why is he being allowed to build on it? And they said, no, it was Rudy Headley from Town and Country Planning who told me, no, it's illegal to build on watercourse. And I said, well, can you come back to me then, having done some research, because I've been told by a neighbour that this developer has definitely got permission to build. Anyway, after a lot of pressure, they did come back to me and they said, yes, that's correct. There is planning permission that was granted in 2010 to build on Gibbs Gully, the watercourse. Well, so the first planning was actually given to Planet Barbados, but it's been bought by a different developer now. Every 5 years, the planning has to be re-established. And so we're now from 2010, 2015, 2020, 2025. I'm assuming that it's coming up now again for renewal. So this is why I'm really strident at the moment to try and get that process stopped while we have the opportunity, because if it does go ahead and he does build in 5 years' time, the gully will just be pure concrete. So it's really important we, as you say, keep the pressure on and don't let him get away with it. From an ecological point of view, we have some rare species in the gully, including the Barbados thread snake, which is under threat of extinction. I think we're the only gully. There may be some in Welshman Hall's gully, but I believe that we're the only gully still to have that. It's a tiny little, well, it looks a little bit like a worm.
Oh, I wonder if Dave could find that, because I don't even know if a lot of people, I've seen it. I've never seen a one as in real life. I've seen it in a picture.
Okay.
I don't know if Dave could find one to put up. It's called the Barbados red snake.
Thread, as in needle and
thread. Oh,
thread.
Barbados thread snake. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yes.
While Dave's looking for that, I'll also say that we have species of bats in the gully, which is vital to keep down the mosquito population in this area, particularly as that is a watercourse, and obviously we do get standing water from time to time. So that's a real vital environmental problem that the bats solve for us.
Yes, yes. And you said it's a watercourse, and we were actually with Mr. Morris Greenwich, and at some point, I know we're calling on Dave for everything, but he will show us a little bit of what Mr. Greenwich had to say, the historian, that if it is that they really are planning to build in the gully, what the possibilities are in terms of flooding, because he's saying there's a lot of water that comes down if there's a heavy rainfall. So what we're seeing here is the Barbados thread snake.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, and this is indigenous to Barbados.
Very much so. Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. I probably I've seen some little things like this, outside, but probably, they're not. But I'm not a big snake fan.
Well, I'm sorry. I've been told by one of our neighbours that this snake is under threat, and it is unique to Barbados as well. And it is part of the history of Barbados, and I know that species do go extinct from time to time, but it's our little snake.
Yes. And I believe that, our prime minister, that she would be able to relate to this, having Sunny, I'm sure you've seen her giving these speeches on the environment and all over the world. She's won a lot of environmental awards. As someone living in Barbados, you're seeing her on the world stage giving these speeches, but then here it is that there is a gully that they're planning to to develop, to build in the gully, put up they're putting up swimming pools and all kinds of things. We've seen some of the plans. What goes through your mind?
Well, you wonder what her real motivation is, if she's not actually looking to save the beauty and also the ecosystem of her own island. I don't really think that it gives her much credential to actually go onto the world stage and bang the climate crisis drum. So perhaps if she could start at home and help us here and save her own island from destruction, because it will be destroyed. Once these gullies have gone, we'll never get them back. It'll just be lumps of concrete. All that water that comes down now that turns into a torrential river that is filtered through the tree roots and the soil, and then goes down into Gibbs Bay to the coral reef. If it's not filtered that way naturally, it will kill the reef. Where's the water going to go? We're very cavernous here as well. We have lots of caves underneath, and I asked the developer directly, are you going to do a survey to see where the caves are, because you're putting our properties at risk as well? And he absolutely categorically just said no. So
wow.
he doesn't care about the environment. He just, he's only caring about his own bank balance, which is unfortunate, because for people who really love this island, if it turns into mini Miami, then we've lost everything. Miami will be fine because Miami's Miami, but who wants to come to Barbados when they can go to real Miami? They come here because of its uniqueness and the very essence of Barbados, which is, as you know, unique.
Yes, yes. Let's just Dave. Thank you so much, Sonny, for that. But Dave, can we just play a little bit of this is me on the road, Mike on the move. This is Mike on the move. Go right ahead, Dave.
No, it's already a water course, except changes are made upstream to turn the course somewhere else. It is likely to cause problems, likely. And I would be afraid, let's put it that way, to live in a spot where massive redevelopment like this, especially seeing and knowing where the old water course was and still is, I'd be worried.
Right.
I would not want to live here.
And as I was saying to you, that I won't show the home, but when we came here, I spoke with one of the homeowners, and who've been living here all their lives, and so they're concerned that if this hotel is built and all the development happens in the Gibbs Gully, that they're concerned about their home, because they said they get torrents of water when the rain falls coming through the gully. It's a gully.
It is a gully.
Right.
Substantial gully.
Yes, it's okay.
And this is the gully that separates in the eastern part of it, because it comes from the borough of Holetown, St. Andrew, comes down through Apes Hill. What is now the Apes Hill Golf Course, but what used to be the separation between Black Bess and Spring Head, comes down through Bakers, and exits in the sea. And the eastern part is the northern extremity of Cortines Holdings. That's what he called the Indian Plantation eastward. From there north, on above Highway 2, is St. Peter. Right from there south, above Highway 2, is St. James, Spring Head.
Yes, with the water,
Tates, and so on. So one has to be, I would say, prudent in managing that water and the surrounds, because you're going to have problems. People in Holetown had problems. People in Bridgetown had problems. In 1938, we had houses walked into the careenage from Halls Road. Houses washed into the careenage in Halls Road. 1938. Because
they were built in the water course or just flooding?
No, flooding. The severe rainfall. 1948, 1949, we had the same thing almost repeated. Then a lot of remedial work was done in Bridgetown for the careenage. And you've had a canal built now with there were two streams actually, three streams meeting at James A. Tudor's house at the Robert Street roundabout, bottom of Hinesbury Road. You had a stream coming down from Glenderry, but we call it Glenderry Gully. That came from all up in the middle of the country. You had a stream coming down through Headley's land, and you had another stream coming down from to the north. So when those streams collided, heavy rainfall. In 1970, we lost Carlos Griffith, Barbados football captain. He drowned on the river path to trying to save a woman's fridge.
A fridge?
Trying to save a neighbor's fridge. You understand? 1970. It was not a hurricane. It was just rainfall.
Excess rainfall. So once we have excess rainfall in Barbados, we get flooding.
Gullies must be free.
Gullies need to be free.
1998, Christmas Day, we had just finished playing at Holetown Methodist Church when the rain came. I went to St. Philip to take home one young child. By the time I got back home, I had Holetown Watchway. That was largely because of building at Sunset Crest. There was a water course. They built a berm. They called it berm across the water course. That was obviously inadequate. All you needed is for one tree limb to block that berm. And once that tree limb goes crossway and not lengthways, other stuff goes on it, then you create a block. There's one woman who never went back into her house inside because her car couldn't see it.
Mm.
And she was a prominent personality in Barbados. You had two other people who's on the main road next to the police station who abandoned their homes, never went back in them. I don't know what value the properties decreased to, but both of them never went back in their houses. This can be traumatic, and it can be avoided with prudent management. When the 1993 extensions were done to the Holetown, what became the Holetown Civic Centre, there was not prudent management. And apart from the fact that you destroyed some of the legacy, some of the heritage that was existing, although I hear people say the buildings were old, of course there were old buildings. There were buildings there from at least 1780 and some possibly before. My position is if you have a monument telling you this, at least listen to it. Pay attention. And this area at Gibbs is also part of the history of settlement, because this is the end of the courting plantations, and God forbid that something would happen to people who quite innocently have bought in this area and have been living here for at least 20, 30 years. And if you go to mess around with the upstream, make sure that these people down here are properly protected. That's my concern.
Yes. Wow. That's a big concern. I didn't even know so many persons individuals would have lost their lives and livelihood in Barbados because of flooding.
Oh, yeah.
But because we haven't had
you haven't
rain.
heard the worst yet. And some of it has not been reported officially. All the lore in Holetown tells us that we have to be careful, because my grandmother and her neighbors always talked about the 1898 floods, in which, I don't know if you passed Sandy Lane when we come up the hill. There's a young lady that sells food along the road, and that big bridge was built to accommodate the hotel in 1961, and that was where the original Sandy Lane tenantry used to be. Most of that tenantry, the houses were washed away in the 1898 floods. And they always said the tenantry and some people. The tenantry and some people. So that when Panama money started coming, one man bought land in Lanes Gap. And those people were only too eager, even if they had to pay more rent than they were paying at the hotel, at the plantation, to leave. So Sandy Lane's tenantry was disbanded in 1920, summarily by the residents, who fled in fear of the next rainfall and went into Lanes Gap, most of them. Yeah.
Wow.
So that area has already borne its burdens for flooding. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
so
we really hope
Holetown people, many of them came from Paynes Bay. So they know and they remember.
Mm-hmm.
They don't forget them things.
Right, and even in the area that they plan to put make the new civic center there in Trent. I mean, the Indian River is right
to the south of that.
To the south,
but there's a river. There's another river, what we call the Charles Fort River. Fort River that separates Colony Club from Coral Reef Club. That too is a troubled.
Yes, have the area. Well, let me just go here quickly. If we could pause right there. If we could pause there, the Gibbs. Right. So you can. Yeah, we can pause right there. Sonny, listening, you're here, and I can see you have not seen this video before, and you're hearing this historian Maurice Greenidge speaking like this on Gibbs. What's going through your mind?
Well, first of all, what a wonderful gentleman Mr. Greenidge is. I'd love to meet him, and I'd love to buy his book. I don't know how to get it, but perhaps you can help me with that.
Yes.
Fantastic. I mean, what a great orator he is, and historian, and what a fantastic memory he has to remember all the dates of everything that's gone on. But speaking to what he's saying about the flooding in Holetown, funnily enough, I was speaking to somebody today, a lady who remembers that very time, and she said that the rains were equal to the sea. Literally, there were cars being just swept away into the sea from Holetown, and they're just disappearing out to sea. So whatever he's saying there is absolutely correct. That if we do this, if we build on the way we're going, it's just going to be a disaster for everybody, just everybody. And we can't let it happen, you know, Marcia. We just can't.
Yes, yes. And what we're looking on the screen there, Sonny, is and so people can know that what Sonny and her neighbors are concerned about is not something in their heads, but that's part of the gully where the water comes that is now being cleaned, isn't it? The developer is cleaning that area, taking out trees and all of that out of that area, right, Sonny?
Yes, he is. I believe that somebody complained about Cowich. We've had a bit of a problem with Cowich down here, and one of the residents in Gibbs, actually did ask him to clear it. So I think that's what he's done. I assume that that's why he's done it. I don't know. I haven't spoken to him directly, but yes, it's just recently been cleaned again. Or whether that's because he wants to roll over this planning permission, and he's showing that he's doing something in the gully, and that's what he has to do to be able to apply again. I don't know. I have no idea of his motivation.
Because some people say, well, it was done 2010, but it's every 5 years. I think you have to renew it. Correct. And so this each administration has that opportunity to look at it and to see if it's, you know, if it's good, if it's something that needs to be done. Now, talk to us about Saturday, on Sunday. What's going to happen on Sunday? Talk to us on Sunday about Sunday.
Right. Well, we have a very exciting event planned. We had a great time a week ago on Sunday down at Holetown, and we hope to replicate that up in Gibbs. So we're inviting people to come to the Roadside Parliament, which is going to be held in Gibbs Glade. If you go up Gibbs Road and then turn left into Gibbs Glade, I will be putting signage up for people to guide them in. Then we'll have some lovely food, a barbecue, and we'll have hopefully a bit of a talk and tour, just to explain so people can see for themselves the gully. We will be alongside the gully there for the event, and we've also got some great speakers lined up, a bit of music, and lots of community activity in terms of neighbours being neighbourly and everybody having a great time. So it's 2:00 on this Sunday at Gibbs Gully, inside of Gibbs Glade.
Yes, and for those people who are if they're driving, can you go over the directions? And what we're going to before Sunday, we're going to give you the location pin. So if you need a location pin, just message the 236-7000 number, and you'll be able to get the location pin. But it's really going to be in Gibbs Glade. But if someone is driving, Sonny, how do they get there?
Okay, if I take you coming north from Holetown, you would go past John Moore Bar, which everybody knows, and Thunder Bay. And then you come into Gibbs area, and you have Emerald Beach Hotel on the left. And just past that, probably, I'm not very good at distance, but anyway, not far. On the right is Gibbs Road. I'm going to put a sign up to a big yellow sign that will say, that'll mark that out for people. Turn right into Gibbs Road, and then you go up the hill, and there's another yellow sign into Gibbs Glade. I think it's the second road on the left. It's past there's a place called Claridge's on the left. Keep going up the hill to there, and then it's the next left-hand road. Go right to the end of it, which is where the gully is, and we'll be there. It's gully side for the event. And I believe that you've laid on a bus from Independence Square at 1:00. If anybody,
yes. Thank you for reminding us about that, Sonny. That 1:00, there is a bus that will be at Independence Square, you need to book your space on the bus. 236-7000. You need to book your space on the bus, and give a donation. All we ask, it's a donation for the bus, and we've done it like that, and we always cover the cost of the bus. So everybody, the bus is going to take you there, and it's going to come back and pick you up after the event. In fact, the bus will be back by about 5:15 to take you back to Independence Square. All right. So get to Independence Square at 1:00. Don't have the driver there waiting, and there will be someone on the bus who will be able to give to collect the donations from you. We've got some donations, people donating food items, right? Sunny, for the barbecue.
Yes, we've had some very generous residents in the Gibbs area, Gibbs Gully and Mullins area, who've donated money towards this barbecue we're having on Sunday. So, yeah, wear your sneakers so that you've got nice, comfortable feet if you want to have a little wander around. And, we'll look forward to seeing you. We'll have great fun. Also, if you bring your own drinks in coolers and a chair.
Yes, thank you. And you know what's lovely about this? We are doing this thing together. We are working with the people in Joes River. Isn't that lovely?
It's great.
Yes, we had our meeting today, and the people, also on the show, the loyal opposition along. And this is what is happening. The people from Holetown, they're coming down, and we're doing this thing together. And this is why I say keep the pressure on, and we do it together. And Sonny, you're part of a political party.
Oh dear.
No.
I'm just trying to save my gully.
You're just trying to save your gully. We're not a part of any political party. I spoke with someone there in Holetown, and they're coming up to support. They're not part of any political party. Don't listen to that. No, it's not about that. It's about Barbados. It's about our love for Barbados. Some of us weren't even born here.
Yes, no, we weren't. But you know what? This is our place. This is where our hearts reside, and we just love it, don't we? We got to save it.
We do. And guys, we need the numbers, right, Sonny? We need the numbers to be there. Sonny, why is it important that we don't just sit behind our computers and we type a little post and so on? What to you? You're living in Gibbs Gully. Why is it important for people to come down and support you and the neighbors there?
Well, for one thing, it's fantastic for us all to get together. Everybody from all walks of life in Barbados. I am loving it. It's so much fun meeting everybody. It's fantastic. We all love this island, and we all want to save it. We want to save its beautiful, beautiful essence, its heritage. And we have to come together to show that we really mean what we say. We want to save our country. We love it so much, and we can do it together. All of us. Doesn't matter where we come from. We all are Bajans.
That's right. And we don't line up behind colors. Okay. No. We line up behind the flag and the anthem, and our love for Barbados is that's what drives us and keeps us going. And so we're hoping that everybody would come out. Would you come out, please? Please. People are asking, what do we do? This is an activity that you can come out and attend. And we're going to have the person from Brighton is going to be there. Jehan from Brighton is going to speak about what's given us an update on Brighton, what's going on up there with all that seemingly sewage water going into the sea. We have, of course, Joes River is going to be there. Those from Holetown is going to be there. We probably can get the people from Dover Beach that called me. There are people who are in Christchurch that have called and said, we want a roadside parliament too. And we're inviting them, come down to Gibbs and come and talk about your story. And so the mic is open for everybody to come. Come, please. Let us not say we can't do anything about it. Right? Yeah.
And can I just say, Marcia, I want to say a big thank you to you, because I know how much work and effort and time and energy you put into this. You are some sort of saint. Well done, you.
Well, to you as well, because I met you and I'm like, this woman she is like, she moves. and she is a doer and a mover and a shaker in Barbados, and it's been a pleasure, Sonny, working with you, and I know that we're also going to be working together on the march, the Love March.
Yes, we are.
We have a Love March that is coming up on the 22nd of this month, and Sonny, we are on the team again with Holetown, with Brighton. We're doing this thing together. And I love it.
Love March, fantastic. It's perfect.
So are we going to come and see Sonny on go and visit Sonny? We're going to visit Sonny on Sunday. Sonny on Sunday.
Yeah, please come. I'd love to see you and meet everybody. I just, I love meeting everyone. It's wonderful.
And Sonny, guess what? They're bringing breadfruit for you, because when we were at Joe's River, she would not leave until she got her roast breadfruit with her mellow cream and a hot pepper sauce.
Yes, please. Yes, please. That's me. First of the queue.
So she made sure she told the people on Joe's River, Mr. Lewis, make sure we got breadfruit. So he's gonna get all them breadfruit in his van and bring up from Joe's River.
Yeah, we've got chicken, we've got fish, we've got breadfruit. I think you're doing some hot dogs and some burgers. We've got some salads, some bread. We're going to have a great day, real good fun, and just be together and really further the cause. And the strength in numbers, we have to stick together and just stand together as Bajans and say, leave our island alone.
And say, not about hay. Say that, Sonny. We want to hear you. Say it again, Sonny.
Not about hay.
There you go.
Nice Bajan.
All right. Thank you so much. I heard what you said. Not but hey. All righty. God bless you, Sonny. We're going to see her on Sunday. God bless you.
Sunday.
Bye-bye. Not but hey. I love it. Wonderful. Her and her husband, they work together as well, like Dave and myself. And, they've done a fantastic job along with the residents of Gibbs Gully, and we want to support. And it's not about, people say, oh, will they support us when it's our turn and so on. Listen, we're going to work together. I'm not like that. I believe we're going to work together. We're going to find what we have in common, and what we have in common is our love for Barbados, isn't it? Along with the wonderful people in Holetown. It's not political at all. Don't listen to that. We are doing this because we love this country. Yes. How many of you are coming? Let me take a roll call. Let me take a roll call before I move any further. How many of you are coming? How many? 854 of you on here tonight. Yes, we hear unity, strength. Joseph, are you coming? Will you be there on Sunday? We love to put out these little things, and we are typing, and we are, are you going to be there? Skylar says she will be there, or he. CG is going, hey, CG, you need to get ready with placards. The placards ready for the 22nd. Okay. Joseph said that's 3 of you out of the 846 people. Teroni, yes, I know Teroni always is there. Thank you, Teroni. Who else? Well, Jacqueline, you know how to get there, Jacqueline. You know who to call. We send Philip people, man. We know we're going to sort that out for you, Jackie. Come on. Yes, Stephen Knight, this is so correct. Listen to what Stephen Knight said. The same energy we put in derailing the cybercrime bill, that same energy needs to go into saving our coastal land. It is so important. I agree with you, Stephen. I agree with you. Yeah. So, Stephen, are you going to be there, Stephen? Oswald said, oh, Oswald, I'd be happy to see you.
Tell me what is happening. Snakes on the board, couples on board, snakes in action, snakes in poison. It's true. Listen to Karoo.
That's Karoo. Karoo, that the water came down there in St. Peter. Was it St. Peter, Dave? I think it's St. Peter, but you see, all of that water, it's all connected, as I'm learning from the historian. Okay, and Carew was sleeping. He told us, he showed us the spot. Mr. Morris Greenwich showed us where Carew was, and he explained to us how the water came down. And he sees because of all of the development that happened in that area, and the water came down and washed away Carew and his house. They were gone. They were gone. Yeah. Okay. Okay. How many of you coming? How many? I mean, it's about what? About 10 of you? Come on, Sharon. You've got to come and plan. Plan from Saturday to be there for Sunday. I know Mr. Newton is going to be there and he's going to be on that microphone. Listen, folks. Yeah? Snakes in the grass. We're going to talk about, thank you, Dave. We're going to talk about snakes in the grass. Okay, Carew is Weston, St. James. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So that is close to the Holetown area then. Okay, thank you. As Joseph says, let's translate these comments into actions and bring your children. They need to come. They need to be there. We always finish early. You know, the police says 5:30. We're by 5:15. We're done because we're not there to cause any problems. It's very peaceful time. We work with the police. That's who we are, and because we love Barbados, we're not destructive people. And so, and also because of the crime, we want to make sure that everybody gets home on time before it's dark. Okay, so we need you to come. I know that, you know, once if we're talking anything salacious and thing, the numbers are all the way up, and some people, you only come. I know that. I know my Bajan people. A lot of you only come on here to hear gossip or what you consider as gossip. For us, it's not gossip. We're uncovering what is covered, and we're bringing things to light. And some of you, that's the only element of this show that you like. The part of the show that demands action to see things done, you're not part of that. The part of the show that demands, that requires education, like we had Morris Greenwich on to educate us. He's 84 years old. We give him respect and we sit at the elders' feet. Some of you, you're not involved in that. I know. Some of you, you're not involved in moving Barbados along. I want to tell you, myself and all of our panelists, Rose Corbin, our host, Dr. Ferdinand Nichols, you know, I could name all of our guests you see come on here. We have one focus, and it's Barbados. And I want us to move to that level, my people. Come on, my people, my Barbadian people. Move to that level of maturity. That we don't just jump or come around because we want to hear this and we want to hear that. Okay, you hear it, and what is next? Okay? So I love you, but the truth is the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth because I see what happens. We are not being constructive. You're criticizing, make it constructive. It is only constructive when you decide that you're going to do something about what is happening. That's when it's constructive. But to sit down every day and just complain every day, that's a waste of your energy. Put that energy in doing something that is great, okay? And as we have on the screen here, our leader of the opposition, and I keep saying to you guys, I actually, at this point, I don't care what you say about me and what you write about me, that I am part of some party, etc. No, I defend Barbados, and anything that is progressing Barbados, I'm going to defend. And I want to say on that note, I want to say I'm happy to hear that the stadium is going to be fixed. I heard that in the estimates, that they're going to fix the stadium and they're going to convert the netball stadium into something wonderful, because it was only a couple of days before that I said, and I want those of you who are watching from the government, because you watch the show, I know you monitor, you come on here to monitor, but you might just get educated. I want you to know something, that you see a lot of that money that you're borrowing, all the debt you're putting Barbados in, you know, if you start to actually fix things around there and do things around there, people will give you more graces. You will find that people will understand a little better. I was passing the stadium, you know, and I said, can you imagine if they were using some of this money to fix the national stadium? People will understand and they will leave you alone. But when you are amassing all of this money and we don't know where it is going, we can't see it, my people. Okay, and that is why we support the leader of the opposition. Okay, because he highlights these things. We don't support because he's part of a particular party. Do you understand? We support him. He is the leader of the opposition. Why would you tear him down? That makes sense. When we don't have anybody else, you can go into parliament and speak. I can go into parliament and speak. So you've got to support him. If you can't do that, and when I say support him, I'm not saying that you're going to be, you're washing Mr. Thorne's feet and you're worshiping. It's not about that. Once he is standing up in there and once he is doing it on behalf of the people, you should be supporting him. Yeah, I'm not talking about a party now, because all you hear is party. Eh? You can't hear anything else but party. And that's our problem. You know, so let's listen to Mr. Thorne, a little of Mr. Thorne, before we go into talking about Holetown and who really owns the Holetown Civic Center. Let's go into Mr. Thorne. Go ahead, Dave. Thank you.
I'm obliged to you, Mr. Chairman of Committees, and I will make a very...
Okay, it's seemed to be stuck. Let's see if we can hear him. While we wait on it, you can see it spinning. Something is happening there. In the meantime, if we can have the article, then I don't know, Dave, if that would be okay, so that we don't waste any time here. If we can have the article, would be wonderful. Yes, we have some other business we have to deal with, so I don't want to. If we have the article. No? All right. Okay, I think we're gonna have the article there, so we'll just read the article. But the point, I think you've gotten the point I'm making, ladies and gentlemen, of supporting what he's doing. We've got to get to that level of maturity that we can support and appreciate the kind of work that goes into something like this. Okay, so Barbados today, and we can get it now, Dave. Okay, good. Go ahead, Dave. No? No, okay. Having some challenges there. But anyway, I want to just jump. We're sorry we're not able to bring you that excerpt from Parliament, but if you check, go to the Parliament website and you will hear Mr. Thorne. He's been there every day for the estimates and he's batting for you. He's asking the important questions for you. And yes, we're trying one last time. Go ahead.
Obliged to you, Mr. Chairman of Committees. And I will make a very strange request of you that you will deprive me of equal time. And Your Honor, I want you to deprive me of equal time because I like to think that I am given to kindness. And I want to be kind to the public officers in this ministry. I do. Since I want to give them the assurance that all that I say about government's interference, and I use that word deliberately, government's interference in the Ministry of Housing is not intended to reflect on these good and honorable public servants. This government, in relation to this Ministry of Housing, has given new definition to the word disaster. And please, good and honorable public servants, I do not intend to reflect on the service that you have given over the many years. But I repeat, Your Honor, I want you to shorten my address because I want to be kind, but it is difficult to be kind in a ministry that has overseen the disaster that has visited housing in this country over the last few years. I am not here to make comparisons between the worst of the ministries. But if one were to reduce political commentary to that exercise, this ministry competes favorably for that ignominious distinction. This ministry has been government's disaster. But we are not so concerned about the disaster that is government in relation to housing. We must now be more concerned about the deprivation that the citizens of this country have suffered in relation to their inaccess to affordable housing. We've heard this ministry go around for the last few years advertising that they're going to build houses for low-income people. That has been a dismal failure. This government has forfeited its housing mandate to colonization. Housing has been colonized by recklessness, incompetence, and hubris. And to sit here and hear all of these sweet words and these cliches about the intentions of this government. And I'm saying this government because, sir, I want you to shorten my address. The voice you heard before mine, he is not the author. He's not the author. And I had occasion to say last year what I understand this honorable minister's position to be, and I say that in all honesty. Even he may be the beneficiary, the recipient of some of my kindness, of some of my compassion, since I know that he is not the author. And he's made reference to hope. And hope on the landscape of this country, literally and figuratively, has been nothing but despair for the citizens of this country. I need not repeat the figure that government misinvested public funds from the Housing Credit Fund, $60 million, and we hear a soft and sweet voice today telling the citizens of this country that $4 million have been repaid so far. And if he seeks redemption, if the honorable member seeks redemption, he gives assurance on 2 occasions that the allocations to this ministry will exclude hope. If there's any redemption, it is not reassurance to the people of this country that monies belonging to the taxpayers were squandered upon the colonization of the housing project, the housing mandate in this country, I repeat, by recklessness, incompetence, and gross mismanagement of public funds. So it is no redemption to come here and say that they've repaid $4 million. It is no redemption to come here and say that they're not part of the allocation. We understand what this government is doing. We understand that this government is attempting to atone for the sin that has been hope. And they're allowing hope to extricate themselves from the housing mandate in this country. Not enough of those houses are available to poor people in this country. And that has always been the mandate, the noble mandate of the National Housing Corporation. And you have housing a few weeks ago admitted in this parliament that Vesperia Gardens is called the University of Vesperia because it was a learning exercise. It's fine for you to learn, but it's a rather expensive period of tuition, $60 million. And the project is still not complete. And the acronym that speaks towards alternative energy, that mandate has been unsatisfied. Let the people of Barbados hear the disaster and the failure. Please stop me, sir. The disaster and the failure that has been this project in betrayal of the hopes and aspirations of Barbadians. So no sweet words is enough atonement, is enough of an apology for what this government has done to housing. And I keep saying this government because I'm aware that this minister is the face of it. And as I said last year, his is the voice of Jacob, but the people of this country will locate the hand of Esau, the $60 million hand of Esau. And the people of this country will carry out a search for that $60 million. We don't care if you've paid back $4 million, bring the other 56, because you haven't brought housing to the people of this country in any manner that is satisfactory to the aspirations and hopes of the people of this country. Your Honor, my anger may reflect the anger of the people, of the taxpayers in this country who have put aside through this trusty government. I say trusty government, not trusted government, trusty government. And it is something to be angry about. And when you're visited with sweet words, I quoted one, we have listened, we have learned, and we have committed to doing better. When this exercise started, the First Ministry also said that theirs is a commitment to doing better. These veiled apologies now characterize these estimates. Everybody at this 11th hour is making a commitment to do better, and they want to do better because they have visited this country with failure. And this ministry must now rank, with apology to the public officers whom I do not condemn, this ministry must now rank as one of the shining disasters of this government. And I say shining because its incompetence, its recklessness, and its hubris is now in plain view of the public. There will be a lot more to say. And there will be another occasion on which to say it. But I want to end, Your Honor, by saying to this minister, yet there is some compassion within my bosom, because I know that he is not the author. And if there's any condemnation, we must say that this minister is the willing salesman of a project that has failed the people of this country. A project that has failed the ambitions of people who wish to own a house in this country. But he is not the author. This honorable minister is not the author. And if I'm to be kind, I extend kindness to this honorable minister for having been placed in that ignominious position of ministry. And that is the best that I can do for the honorable minister. And if there's the best that I can do, it is that I will say to the public officers in this ministry that there is no condemnation extended in your direction, except that this interloper called hope has dashed the hopes of people who want housing in Barbados. This interloper has been an agent in squandermania. This interloper has been an agent in recklessness. And this interloper must now give account to the people of Barbados for $60 million. And it goes beyond $60 million because the so-called University of Vespera is still not finished. No photovoltaic systems. The housing complement there, they're still not completed. I wanted to speak for a lot shorter time, sir, so I'm going to stop. But this ministry has allowed itself to be defined by the word disaster. I'm obliged to you, sir.
I am telling you, guys, you nor I can go to Parliament and be able to speak to them. Mr. Thorne has that as his obligation on behalf of the people of Barbados. And I tell you this, folks, we need to find the things that he's saying that you believe in, repost them, help him. He is one against the, how many now in there? 29. They've added back 29 of them inside there. Please support. And I'm not here trying to tell you to support the DLP. I'm saying support what the leader of the opposition is saying. And if we can't do that, I honestly question what is it that we're really about. I question it. Remember, I'm saying, I'm not trying to say to, he's also the political leader of a party, but I'm saying it reaches a point where you're gonna have to be mature enough to be able to, sift out and listen. I just said to you, and I've said it on here before, talked about ministers that I like in the government. I believe Kirk Humphrey has his problems, but I know that he does try to help the citizens. He does. He doesn't have all at his disposal, but he's one of them that I know. And I've said it. You've heard me say it on here. I've spoken about Marsha Cadley even before they kick her out. I mean, before she resigned. I've spoken about her and who I think she is, and so on. And if something good is happening, I'm going to speak about it. But they don't give you that many good things to speak about. I like the peace program, but I can't like it anymore because now they're saying that they're actually paying criminals. They had criminals on the payroll. So I'm saying, if you know that they're criminals, why aren't they locked up? How is the Attorney General saying they're criminals on the payroll? And why? And he is the Attorney General. Why aren't they locked up? And as Mr. Thorne said in Parliament, this is a current situation. He did not say it was. It's a current situation. So these are things that we need. We need Mr. Thorne to be able to have the courage. I don't know how he gets the courage. I bless him, pray for him, pray for, his family all the time, because Dave and I will try to pray. I mean, and here we are on the outside here as the people, and we need to support what he's doing there on the inside. Okay. Very, very important. Yeah. But I want to speak to you about something that I've been thinking about, and some questions that have come, that have been presented to me because of some allegations that are being made. Now, how many of you saw the newspaper article where it stated that there was a Canadian businessman who was now the owner of Holetown Civic Centre? How many of you saw it? Let me wait. We're doing this thing together tonight. Okay, Miss McLean is going to come on a little later. Okay, Miss McLean will be on what in 15 minutes, because I'm not going to stay long on this because we're still researching it, but I wanted to bring it to your attention. Now, we had heard when Pinocchio told us that there was no deal. The deal wasn't the deal. They didn't broker any deal. Nothing has happened yet. It's not. You remember that? You remember Pinocchio? Dave, we have that little we have that thing with Pinocchio on it. I don't know if you can put up so that people can see. They can definitely see who is Pinocchio. I wonder if you have that, Dave, that people can see who is Pinocchio. Let me just send that back to you. There you go. Thank you so much, Dave. So Pinocchio. Now you are going to know who is Pinocchio based on where Pinocchio is standing in this picture. So in this picture, you have in center, you have Miss Piggy is center. Okay. And then to her left, our right is Guy Smiley. Yes. Beside Guy Smiley is we have Pinocchio. Okay. Right. So Pinocchio told us that, and right now his nose continue to grow. You're correct, EZD. Come to the front of the class, EZD. You recognize that Pinocchio nose continues to grow. Yes. And you check him, you're going to see that nose will continue like that because some lies were told. We were told that the deal was not complete. However, a little over a week later, it wasn't a full 2 weeks again, we saw in the newspaper that they said that it was, we have an owner. They said it in a newspaper. Yeah. They said it in the newspaper that they had that the owner, the developer was this Canadian ICBL from ICBL. Now, let's talk about ICBL. What do we remember about ICBL when we're talking about alleged corruption? Because I have to use these terms on here. When we talk about that, when we talk about ICBL, what comes to mind? Let me watch the comment center. Don't leave me. I want you to stay with me, Barbadians. I want you to apply your thoughts to what I'm saying here, because you know how it is. I cannot speak everything in the open, so I have to speak in parables on here. Okay, right? So I'm reading. We're not going to put up everything you put up there. We won't put up in the comments. We won't put up on the show. You understand why? Okay. Now, Do you mean anybody in their right mind would believe that the government, if what was done was so terrible, that they did everything, this government did everything to see that Mr. Ennis was put into jail? You remember that? They did everything. And the supposedly what would have happened with ICBL. So I am here thinking, a government that is so told us that they were so against corruption and they were going to get that integrity legislation and all of these people need to go to jail and all these things need to happen. How is it this government is still so close with that same entity? I began to do a little research and I realized that some of those people, help me, pray for me all. Pray for me. I don't want them come and drag me like they did that woman in St. Vincent. So you pray for me tonight so I can say what I have to say. That there are some people, politicians, let's use that, who were involved with ICBL during that time when they were in opposition. Listen to what I'm saying to you. You know, I'm not, what I don't know, I'm not going to, you understand? I'm going to tell you what I know. And that relationship has not changed. You following me? You're following what I'm saying to you? There has been a strong relationship with some politicians when they were in opposition, and those relationships with some politicians continue after they got into government. You would have thought that from what you remember about the case. You would have thought that. Wow. Wow. But they said ICBL. So that's the first thing that I am questioning. I want to ask the government. I want to ask the government, or I want to say to the government that I am surprised. Very much surprised. Very much surprised. Are you surprised about that? Did you remember what happened there? They think we're going to forget. Remember Chris Sinclair that they said was going to get locked up too? You remember? And now Chris Sinclair is now in charge of the parts of the campaign for the prime minister, for this government. So the question is this, was it real? Was it something real, or did they make it up? You see what I mean? Is it something that's real, or it was made up? Very interesting. Now, the other thing that I want to talk to us about is, I want you to look at some pictures. This is how I have to present it. I want you to look at some pictures. I was told that there is a developer in who's been doing a lot of developing in the Holetown area. And I want Dave, can you put up these pictures for me, please? The pictures of this developer. Now, this developer, this businessman, is from the UK, and owns the Cliff Restaurant, and owns Tides Restaurant, owns Bistro, It's called, I'm just looking at the name again, Bistro. Okay. And as far as I know, there are 3 restaurants that this is owned by this developer. Now, these are just some questions, random questions I'm asking, okay? QP Bistro, thank you. QP Bistro. What are the odds that you have a businessman opening up restaurants? QP Bistro, The Cliff, Tides, and they're wonderful restaurants, by the way. I was speaking to somebody who said that the food at The Cliff is delicious and people love. I believe I've been to Tides restaurant, really nice. And a very, very wonderful. And it's good that we have people want to invest in the country. So I think that we need to commend that and encourage more of that. And as I said, the food is good. So this is nothing about this man's business, But what are the odds? What are the odds that each business that this man or the restaurants that this man is opening, the Prime Minister, based on I got this all online. She is present at all of them to cut the ribbon. This is not a healthcare facility taking care of for little babies in Holetown or in St. James. This is not a health. This is not a learning center. This is not for unwed mothers. This is not this. We're talking about a commercial activity. But every time, well, what I saw, I could be wrong, but Dave put up, and let me see if it's 3 different outfits. This, or it's 2 different outfits. This is the same one, okay. Dave, show the next one for me. Another one. And I think there is a 3rd one because the other ones seem like it's the same one, but from a different angle. I don't understand what is the relationship here. I don't know, but when I see things like this, I have to ask the question. I have to ask the question, and we have to ask. We can only ask questions. I find it very strange, because it's not anything that has to do with, the society and so on. I understand. Okay, jobs, but the same person. Interesting. Now, I want to ask the Prime Minister if there is any other member of her family that is connected with this restaurant, because when I went online, I saw that it was being advertised to tourists, and it mentions the name of someone else that has the Prime Minister's last name. So my question is that person connected to the restaurant? I'm asking some questions. I'm asking some questions because I started looking at it because I was a little shocked that you remember the Prime Minister is very busy and hardly in Barbados, but she would be present at these, what we saw online, and I could be wrong, but it appears as though she's present at all of these openings. Yeah. I have to wonder. It makes me wonder. And I was speaking with an employee of one of these restaurants, and I don't know if it is, I don't know. I'm hoping that it's not so. But I'm being told that a particular restaurant, this is how I will put it, a particular restaurant is going to be closed for a particular time period, a particular restaurant. I'm just speaking to you. One thing might not necessarily be connected to the next, but you can do your own connections. I don't know. But I'm being told that a particular restaurant is going to be closed, and some employees are a little worried because but they're told that it's going to be opened back up, and it's going to be opened up at the Holetown Civic Centre. I'm not sure what that means, especially in light of the fact that, Pinocchio had told us that there was no deal. However, we're seeing, we are being told the allegation is that there is a particular restaurant. I didn't call the name of a restaurant. I'm just saying that a particular restaurant will be closed for a particular time, and that this particular restaurant would be opened back up at the Holetown Civic Center, where it is right now, when the development is, So it makes me wonder what is going to happen to Surfside if that is so. I would want to know. Yeah, I'm just curious about that. I just wondered, and then it makes me wonder, truthfully, is that article really correct in the newspaper? Is because, you see, those from the government who are listening, we have some trust issues with you, because your Pinocchio came and told us there was no deal. But I'm going to show you, Dave is going to get the picture for me when I went down to Trent's, because the people in that area said, Marcia, the bulldozer is pushing down the place and they're preparing the place here in Trent's. To where they're going to put the police station and all the civic society, all the civic buildings are going to be here. I said, really? And they said, but because we know Pinocchio said, MP Pinocchio said that, there's nothing here, no deal, but we don't understand. Somebody called me from down there. So I went down there with my camera, and Dave is going to put that on the screen soon for me. So I'm wondering, because we have some trust issues going on, right? So it makes me really, really wonder if what we saw in the paper, if because it is said that entity owns 60%, and I don't know, could it be that there are others involved in that 60%, and that is a front man for it? Are there other names involved? Are there other names involved? I am just wondering, are there other names involved? I'm just wondering. I don't know. Is he the front man, and then you see there are other people that are being hidden for whatever reason? We also have another picture there, Dave, and if I'm going to be honest, I need to put it up. If I'm going to be truthful in what I'm saying here, there's a picture, another picture, Dave, with the goodly senator, in a picture with so I'm going back to the businessman. I'm just asking questions. As I said, he could be. It's good to have businesses being started up here and so on. But if I see this picture here, well, I'm seeing two persons that I know in this picture. Actually, there's like a third person there, but I don't want to, I'm not sure. But there is somebody here that we know, and then there is another person that we know. This is interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. Okay. You can go on. This is all online, so you can look at it yourself. Read this article. Go and read it. Yeah. You're so right, Skylar. They were saying that that Frondel wasn't talking. Why aren't we getting a press conference on this? Not necessarily what I'm talking about tonight, but you know, the truth is that we have trust issues, and we want to know who these developers are. And so tonight I'm just asking question. I'm asking question: is the what we saw in the newspaper, is that it? Are there others that make up that 60%? You know? So we've got to look at it. Now look at what's happening at Trent. I hope this is it, Dave, because Miss McLean is going to come very soon. See if you find it for me, Dave. Thank you. So where are we right now?
You are Porters, Trents.
So we're entering Trent.
Yeah.
Trent, that's morning.
Here is a stream.
So there's a stream.
Let the rails there coming up.
Oh, okay.
Keep looking for the rails. See the rails here?
Yes. So this is
a stream that separates Porters from Trents.
There?
Just above there.
I'll send it later. So
all these people eventually bought land and Trent Cemetery because they thought that it would have been good for them, but then they realized that all this land floods every rainfall.
So you're saying the people here,
look at the green. See that?
Yes, green? Up there.
Just above there. That was the trade garden. Take a left turn.
So this is a flooding area. So folks, this is our historian telling us that this area, Trent, is an area that experienced a lot of flooding. But it's strange that they would want to put the civil center here
above.
Right. So this is what they're planning to do, where they're planning to put the new civic center. This is the site says. A change of use is being proposed to the site, and a planning application has been submitted for the following development. And this, you see the civic center, and it is the Barbados Tourism Investment Inc. That is planning to do it. And this, you see, they've started to clear. So that means, what does that mean? They've started to actually clear this land. All right, you see, so this is what they're doing. They're saying that it's proposed, but they've removed all the trees already, and they're clearing it. Is it that they have received permission? And that's a question for the Prime Minister. In this this area that is prone for flooding, is this where you're putting the civic center, and is it that it's a definite thing that the civic center is going to be moved from Holetown to be put in Trent, to put in this area that is already they've already started work here. What does this mean? We don't know. Okay, so we're down here. This is Mike on the Move. Marcia Week Show, Mike on the Move. They've begun clearing Trent to put the Civic Center, which could mean, what does this mean? That they've gone ahead already? Is it a done deal? That's a big question. We're asking the Prime Minister of Barbados.
It doesn't matter.
You know, yeah,
I got my tail cut by this school from the Stanford government.
Okay, so folks, there you have it. And you see, this is what why we have trust issues, because as far as according to the new Town and Planning, the Planning and Development Act, my understanding of it, I thought that they needed to put up the sign, and then people needed to, like they did in Ballantyne, etc. But you see, this is going so fast. It's going so fast. They started to clear that place before before it was brought up in the House. Before they were discussing it in the upper house, they had started to clear Trents. So the question is, why were they even discussing it? Does that make sense? Am I, Caswell and Maxine McLean and so on, they've been in government, Glenn Murray, but from all I've learned from them, I know something is wrong with that order. Why would you haven't passed it yet? It's because you in your mind, is it that it's a done deal that you would, because the people told me no, but Marcia, they've been cleaning that for a while. So we just had the uproar here in the Senate. Thank you to that young lady, that Senator, Dr. Crystal Haynes. Let's give her a right title. But the question is, why was it being debated in the Senate if you are ready, if the investors are already clearing Trents? Do you understand what I'm saying to you, Barbadians? Anybody understand what I'm saying? Anybody understand what I'm saying? How come this was in the Senate being debated? Is it theatrics? They accuse Mr. Thorne of theatrics, but is it theatrics? And I want Barbadians to understand something, that if Dr. Senator Haynes did not get up and speak out about this would have gone just like that. It would have just happened. And this is why I say, when you hear those voices of opposition in the houses, inside of Parliament, you've got to support. We heard Senator Drake's, as she was speaking, I can't remember what the topic was, and we featured her on the show. So it's not about Mr. Thorne. It's about the voice of opposition. You get it? I would love for when the time to call in, that Mr. Strickland calls in and tell us what he's saying there, because I don't know all of what you're saying there. But we're gonna 9 o'clock. Oh, it's 9:04. It's 9:04. Let me get this hooked up here and get you all calling in. I'm not seeing Miss McLean. I guess she's not able to join us tonight. Folks, this is crazy. This is crazy. This government, they believe we've given them a blank check. This government believes that whatever they come with, that is going to go through and it's going to be done. This government somehow believes that they don't need to ask anybody any questions. They need to go ahead and do what they have to do. Why did you start clearing Trents? If you are trying to get it passed in the Senate, Because in your mind, you don't need it to be passed in the Senate. You've already gone ahead and you've already, and we showed you on this program that that was done since what, 2020, what was the date that we had, 2021? They had decided at least who the bidder who is going to be, who is going to get the contract, who's going to get the deal. That was already decided. So I'm going to ask you if Dave could help me to just come and help me. Boy, I have to call Dave for everything. We just have to get set up. We're a two-man show here. Yeah. So while we play this song, Who Guarding the Guard, I want you to come on. Let me put up the banner before Dave starts.
I love how we tell story. It could be serious, unloaded with wit and comedy. So I had to write a song that people can sing along. Make sure it by 10 cause I got for Kai so crong. Sing about the policy, how the taxes killing we, and the government doing whatever they please. Except for have no opposition, twice they win, 32 none. Now I'm wondering who the hell is their guarding we? Tell me who's the guard? Kerry, Brady, it's my mommy. I go. Tell me who's the guard? Humphrey, Daly, for sure it's in row. Politics in this precious place ain't nothing but a damn disgrace. The Integrity Act is yet to be put in place. Tell me who's the guard? Jerry, Marshy, I really don't know. Tell me who's the guard? Indar, Suntar, Indians for so. Somebody tell me all the good politicians died, but every resurrection bring back Eric Fly. Oh, 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 yes. When we thought this was the position, a united strong opposition, Bacchanal breakout down there in George Street. Between Yearwood and Mr. Thorne, I never seen nothing so since I born. Ronnie throwing heat like if he win a seat. But it's Ralph who left the BLP and went over to the DLP to form an opposition.
Who guarding the guard? Who guarding the guard? Folks, we need you to call in. I want to hear your thoughts on what is happening. Now, while you're preparing to call in tonight, now you heard, I'm sure you saw what was going around with Minister Trevor Prescott and the Minister of Youth. Did you see that back and forth where he's basically asking if he understands the English language? But anyway, we have a caller. Let's go. Let's listen to this caller here as we, meditate on that what is happening in that party. Good night, caller.
Good night, Marcia Stephen Strickland.
Yes. Let me see if I can. Are we hearing him? Yes, go right ahead, sir.
Good night to the loyal opposition. My son would have gone to school at Frederick Smith Secondary.
Yes.
So coming from St. Lucie, not only that I would have used that road, it's a split road. When you if you're coming to Porter's Junction, there's a left turn that will bring you straight across at the top of the Trents village, coming right out to the main road facing Frederick Smith. That road has been awful for years, in that there are two areas which are low-lying areas along the road where the water does not have access to go off the road because there are private properties along the road on the western side, which prevents the water from running off. Now that road, which is parallel to the main road, which is Highway 1, both areas are slightly above the level of the houses in Trent, which means that under normal circumstances, the water is unable to get out from between those houses when they get into those houses. Now, about 2 years ago or so, government invested millions, I believe, in doing some work to the back of Porter's house, Great House, coming down onto Highway 1, exiting to the sea between some hotels and whatever is in there. Now, as much as all of that water comes down and gets into the sea, none of the water in the Trent village can get into that canal. And therefore, there is always flooding among the houses in the Trent village, that community in there. Now, in putting the Civic Center now up on the hill above that road which goes from Porter's to Frederick Smith, you're going to have a situation where you're putting now mass concrete. Now, obviously, when the rain falls, the open earth absorbs water as it falls. But when you put a civic center, which means that you're looking at that mass area, two things. One, you're looking at maybe permaclad, whatever the roofing in is, that causes the water to run right off. Then you have concrete all around, water runs right off. That water, if it is not properly designed, a lot of that water is going to end up in that same road. So that you have students going to Frederick Smith. They use that road. They have to walk through a grassy area on people's property, which water is in. I'm telling you, because my sons would have spent 6 years at that school. And I can tell you that it is very, very uncomfortable when those children are leaving school, because a lot of the children who live in the Bridgetown area, they walk through that road across the Porters to catch the minibuses that are coming from Spicedown. They don't go down to the Trent main road to catch the bus. They walk through that slip road out to Porters, and then they catch the minibus. They walk as far as Royal Pavilion. So I'm just saying that if that proposed center is put up there, it's going to push a lot of water down into the Trent village, and there's no way of that water getting out from in the Trent village. And I think that is what Mr. Greenwich would have been showing you to some extent across that road. So and very often when there's construction, they don't look to see the effect it will take on residents and businesses in the area. They're only concerned about what they're doing there. So they would have to drill wells on that property to absorb the kind of water that will be generated from up there, because it's going to be above the French village. And therefore, I think it's a disaster waiting to happen for some of those individuals down there. Because they're not only residents, but they're businesses that are near the main road in Trent's area, and they get flooded. Okay, so that's my take on what is happening, is being proposed, and what is likely to happen, because there is a business that along that road is called Premature Gardens, and he has a lake. Actually has a lake on his property. He has mass trees all around the lake and so forth, but he has a lake because that's like a swamp. And if you go from Porters across to Frederick Smith, it is on the left side of the road. You cannot see you cannot see the property, the beauty of the property. But they have weddings and so forth that are held there, and I've been there on numerous occasions. So therefore, if he has a swamp in there, a lake in there, you can imagine the amount of water that comes down and is collected and remains on that property all year round.
Yes. Let me ask you something. Thank you for that, caller. Because we're hearing Mr. Greenwich is saying it, and it's because he's a St. James man, and it's good to hear you. You're backing him up just by your very experience. If you were sitting across at a table sitting across from the government, what would you say to them about this? Wanting to move the whole civic center, where all of the I think that there is the tax office, BRA, part of BRA is there, the police, all kinds of different, buildings there. What would you say to the government about what they want to do?
As a citizen of Barbados, when I go places, there's the freedom, there's the openness that I do enjoy, because I was a photographer for well over 30-something all year. So I do enjoy the outdoors. So that in going to the Civic Center, it is not just about doing business there. It is about, enjoying the being near the sea. It's enjoying a number of other things which belongs to us, the average Barbadian, who has the freedom to walk in that area.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you move the Civic Center, it means that we are restricted to the sidewalk. We are restricted to the sidewalk. Not only that we will not be able to see the sea as we are doing it now, but we are going to be restricted to the sidewalk moving towards inland.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, and this impression that I saw of that building, honest truth, when you bring tourists to that monument, okay, and you are showing them the monument cannot, in other words, persons landed there, but you are standing by the monument and you can't even see the sea where the person landed. I mean, it is that crazy. Because I'm saying to you that, at least if you are having the place where Barbados was discovered, they landed, you're seeing them in the monument, you see the sea. And therefore, you can connect the whole issue of, people coming on land from the sea. Now you're blocking the whole area out with a monstrosity of a building. And then when it comes to doing business, you're going to be pushed into a concrete jungle somewhere away from the sea. So it hurts deeply to see what is happening really now at Holetown and other places in Barbados.
Yes. So, caller, on Sunday, we are coming together at Gibbs Gully. I mean, because we are calling for the saving of that gully from these developers. That basically that's what's going on. The question is, are you going to come out on Sunday to join and to put your to put your voice as part of this cry, to cry aloud together? Are you coming out on Sunday at 2:00 in Gibbs Glade?
I am going to try to come. I can't be there for 2 because I have church and it's going to be finishing nearly about that time and so forth. But I will try my utmost best to come during some part of the you want what I'm saying, because I think that faces are necessary to convince individuals that is not just a one person. We did appreciate the assistance that was given to St. Lucie when we had the motorcade last year. Mm-hmm. And I can assure Barbadians that it is not finished as yet. We are at present regrouping to make our next move in what we will be doing to ensure that we, the residents of St. Lucie, benefit from clean, clear water like all other persons in Barbados. So I said, for those people who believe that it was just a one-off, that was only the first chapter in what we are doing. And I would have shared a couple of weeks ago that we submitted a letter to the Barbados Water Authority, and we have been awaiting a response without success, but we will have our meeting to ask the questions that we would want to ask the Barbados Water Authority. We will ask them at a ROADSIDE Parliament at whatever we need to do to continue to bring attention to what is happening in St. Lucie.
Yes. Thank you so much. And everybody knows that the voice of Mr. Stephen Strickland, who is fighting really hard along with his team there in St. Lucie, and we support the Roadside Parliament. Listen, we are for all of Barbados. It's not about party, it's not about people, it's not about skin color. It's we are finding what we have in common, Mr. Strickland, and we're working together. And that's why I'm hoping you will come to Gibbs, even if you pass through, and eat a burger, eat some fish, eat some chicken before you get home to have your big lunch. Okay?
Thank you. I'll try. I may be coming after lunch, but with God said I'll be coming.
Come, please, because we coming. We will come up to St. Lucie to support you. All right. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
And pack up your car with people. Bring people. Come. Pack up your car.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks. Okay. All right. All right. Have a pleasant night.
You too. You too. Wow, that education was important, eh? Wasn't it important? Anybody else has anything else they want to call in to tell us? Because we're learning together. We are learning. We're here. We're learning together. So we need you to come in, to call in, right? Call in and let us know your thoughts. Okay, I'm not seeing any missed calls here. Okay, folks. Okay, there's a call coming in. Good night, caller. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Hello, good night. Hello, good night, Marcia.
Yes, good night, sir. How are you?
I am fine, thank you.
And
I have a question for you.
Yes.
And it's pertaining to the same civic center and the plan, desecration of the area. I want to ask the question, when was the decision taken to place the property on the market for sale? Does anybody know that? When was that done? One. Two,
Yes.
was it a cabinet decision to place the property up for sale and to remove it out of its present use? Three, who was it that brought the buyer to the table to negotiate the purchase of the property and to enter in the trade-off deal of building or replacing the civic center at another location? Those are some important questions that I think that I would like to have some answers to.
Could you go over the questions again for me? Because I was writing. When was the property placed for sale?
Yeah, when was the decision taken to place the property on the market for sale? Right?
Yes.
Was it a cabinet decision to place the property, to take it out of its present use and to place it for sale on the market?
Right.
Was it advertised, add in there too, was it advertised overseas? Was it advertised locally? Because we often hear the accusation made that Barbadians don't want to invest in things locally, and as a result, we need to go outside and find investors from outside. So was it placed on the local market for locals to be able to be aware that this so-called prime, well, not so-called, it's prime beach land, but this prime piece of property was going to be up for sale? And three, the third one that I wanted you to also find out for me was who was the person that brought the buyer, the purchaser, to the table to negotiate the purchase of the property and the trade-off deal. There has to be a finder for the sale and to get the property sold. So who was this person that identified this individual and thought, well, look, this is somebody that would be good to bring to invest in this matter? Those are some questions I wish that we can focus on too as well. Yeah. I wanted our leader of the opposition to see if he can also ask those questions and see if he can get some answers for us.
Yes, we will cut this out and send to him. What I can tell you, though, caller, is that we had gotten a document, as someone famous on the show would say, it fell off of a truck, and we got this document. And
excellent.
Yes, and my recollection, and Dave can help me with this, is that this whole procedure started in 2020 or 2021, and where the BTII was looking for buyers and saying people need to tend to bring in their proposals and to tender their proposals. And then 6 months later, they said, according to that document, that they would have chosen chosen a buyer, a prospective buyer, based on what. So we have the document. There's a yes.
But Marcia, you realize something?
Yes.
That things that we are expecting, major investment items such as these, that we are expecting that or political representatives of the various important ministries that run our country, they have either relegated, but they will say delegated, the responsibility to an entity that persons do not want to go after because they don't see it as a political entity, they see it as a business arm. So it is out there looking for business. But who is protecting the social infrastructure of our country and trying to protect the cultural and those historic elements of it?
Yes.
Are we supposed to then start going after BTII to find out what, besides your mandate as being to promote Barbados and get good returns on investment and all whatnot for Barbados, is it that we now have to go after them as far as a political eye is concerned? We want to keep them out of the political arena, but are there facade or something that block us from really seeing what government policies and government doings are? We are hiding behind BTI. Somebody has to be responsible for BTI. It falls under somebody's ministry.
Yes, very good question, scholar. And what I say is that we have this document here, and it is the Barbados Tourism Investment Inc. Just to answer at least part 1.5 of your questions. And I know the government is listening to this program, and I hope that they'll be able to answer you with the other questions that you have.
Yes.
But if Dave goes up a little bit, Dave, let me double check on the date, because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Marcia, add to that. Well, I just heard you refer to dates, and that is where it was going. It would be good to know when were those dates, what dates you have on that document. And the other thing is, when was the property vested in the care of the BTI? Because I would think it still belongs to the government, to the state.
Yes.
Was the ownership of it transferred to the BTI?
Okay.
Who are the owners?
Well, in terms of the timeline and the schedule, those of you who are really interested in this, you can take a screenshot of this. The RFP was issued on August 29, 2021, right?
Wow.
They would have done a site visit with those people who, I guess, who are interested the week of September 6, 2021. This is facts that we're telling you.
Listen, you see the speed that thing moves it?
Yes, but wait.
You see the speed? Who does sell land or property in such short period of time? No, you all need to dig deeper. Bye.
Listen,
we need to
listen, don't go, because your questions due from partners. So they would have done the site visit on September 6, 2021. And then they had the questions due from the partners on September 13, 2021. They had the bid proposal submission deadline was September, no later than Tuesday, September what, Dave? I can't see the end there. 2021, September 21st.
Stick a pin there, Marcia. I seen something about bids. Where was it publicized? Was it? And I go on the internet and see that this property was being offered for sale and bids were being entertained from persons even outside of Barbados. They're referring to bids. So it sounds like it was supposed to be an open offer or something like that. How many bids were received?
Wow, that's the thing. I think Ms. McLean had asked that question, and here as well. Look, it says here that everything is running. You're so right, Dave. There's something on the screen here I can't get to see. Yeah, everything is running like a week. August 29th, it's issued. They do a site visit with partners, prospective partners on September 6th. By September 13th, caller, the questions are due from the partners, those that went to visit, right? Then they have the bid proposal submission. The deadline is September 21st. So we're going up in just a week. And then by September 22nd, yeah, they have the bid opening date. And and listen to me, my caller, my fellow Barbadian, by October 6, 2021, they would have selected the partner.
Wow. I don't know any major property that is in the millions of dollars that you could get fast track so far and enter into well, we can't say a swap because I think it is a case where they have agreed to build a civic center or something that we are hearing.
Yes.
How did you get all of that work up? Not only that, were these plans already drawn for the civic center and they're waiting for someone to come and say we want to buy this property and this? How could this happen so fast? We cannot get a road or sometimes to get a playing field or a community center that I heard the minister say, the community center in Deacons that have been closed for so long. They are still going through the plans and all whatnot to get it returned to functionality. Huh? How we get this one done so fast?
Yeah.
How come we can't get the stadium up and running? How can we can't get work going on the stadium? This is almost 6 years ends or more.
Well, in fairness to them, they say they're going to get started now. We're hoping that they get started.
How many times we heard we were going to get? Have you seen anything start clearing at the stadium?
No, but it's clearing at.
Well, you had a bulldozer down there clearing down the Trents, though.
Yes.
Come on, we need to be fair. We need to be vigilant.
Yeah,
we need to be vigilant. We need to be more vigilant.
Caller,
Prime Minister Alvaro, the Honorable Alvaro said to us one morning we will wake up and discover that Barbados is no longer our own. And it appears to be happening right under our nose, and we are partying, we are enjoying, we are into merriment. And all these things are happening around us, and our country is being removed from under us, just one piece at a time. One piece at a time.
Yeah, somebody wrote here that property was sold in 5 weeks.
You could imagine. We went through a bidding process. I want to know where can I go and see the tender or the offer that was placed out there. What were the terms of that offer so that persons could have bid on it? I want to know where we can go and find that. Those are questions we need to have answered.
Yeah.
Caller,
thank you, and you raised an important point there. And I feel like I want to hold you a few more minutes, just 2 minutes more, because you said something that I've been reflecting on yesterday and today, that we don't see any of those developers that look like us. Those developers, they don't look like us, sir.
But yet Barbadians are being beaten over their heads all the time that they have money sitting in the credit unions and in the banks and savings accounts, and they don't want their risk averse. There was this opportunity placed on the local market, or when was it made known to John public that that property was going to be up for sale?
Yes. That's
And was it clear?
All of them. When we look at Joe's River, it's and I you know, I for my white viewers that are watching, this is not a racist thing. It is something that
it has nothing to do with racism.
In fact, a lot of them are not even from here. You know, so you have the Joe's River. It's a white Australian. Bathsheba, where they hit down the whole hill, where they removed the whole hill. Dave, if you could put back that document up, I want people to take a screenshot of it as your evidence. People, put it back up a little bit more, Dave. And yeah, they hit down that hill right there. Bathsheba, a white non-Barbadian. And we look here at Holetown. According to them, it's Canadian.
That's correct.
A Canadian, very wealthy businessman. They said, and which I'm asking the question: Is he the only one? I personally am wondering: Is he just up front? My question is, and there are lots of others behind him. And we look at all of these places. We look at. I think the one there at Brighton, it's a local white businessman. I think, I'm not sure. Along with
does that beg the question that could have been why the attempt was made to recapture the property that Bernie Weatherhead, who would have been a local, I think a Barbadian, who had purchased that beachfront property, to take it back from him and probably see if they have gotten that sold on the international market too in 5 weeks. Remember, there was an attempt to recapture that property from Bernie Weatherhead.
Which property is that? Which one is that?
I think it was the one in along Carlisle Bay, in that general area.
I know about Savvy on the Bay, but I'm not sure he's a white businessman. I'm not sure if it's the same thing. You know, but I can keep your number, and then you can let me know what exactly you're talking about.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
But we need to watch these moves, because the painful part of that I am concerned about is that most of these type of sales, they are also impacting on the culture and the history of our country. And it's transforming the face of our country.
Yes, sir.
We are removing a lot of the historic relics that we can sit down and reminisce about. Just now, a few years from now, we will have nothing to show our grandchildren or our great-grandchildren.
Yes.
I hope we can capture some of it. I hope that your historian that was showing you around, because if you realize too, we just lost 3 of our historians.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, you know, it was 3 of them that went suddenly, and we hope that those guys have left some things in documented form that we can share with our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren, because just now, the physical structure and the physical emblems will no longer be there. We will just be able to read about them and probably reminisce about them. Have a good night, Marcy, and good night to the loyal opposition.
Yes, and I want to ask you, are you going to come out on Sunday and make your presence known? We need to fill up that gully with people if we're that serious. Sunday at 2:00, right there at Gibbs Gully. You come down in Gibbs Glade and you'll find us. Are you coming?
I will try to make it an effort to join you there.
Yes.
Thanks for the invitation.
Yes. God bless you.
And blessings to you too and your audience.
Yes. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. Yes. Yes. Yes, Nigel, I agree with you. These questions are fantastic. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Okay, there's another caller calling. Good night, caller. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Yes, good night, Marcia. I am calling again because I am reiterating Barbados appear to be under siege. And when you can see that land acquisition, that's why it seemed. I think I saw something in the paper about they call it e-conveyance. I think I saw a headline about e-conveyance. And if our lands in Barbados seem to be almost like before you can blink twice, macro governmental authorities can mediate with multi-millionaires and multi-billionaires to acquire land, and the people of Barbados know when it's already finalized. Don't you not call that a country being under siege?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, because the truth is, I don't think that, and this has nothing to do with BLP, DLP. Forget politics for now. You have to understand that a country where majority of the citizens, look at the cybercrime bill again, for example. How many of the citizens can actually afford to pay $100,000? You tell me if 10% is a lot. So when you can see that the legislative drafting is such a way that it's trying to keep the people from being able to mobilize. But before this government came into administration, they were strategic in rounding up 15,000 plus people marching, jumping, skipping, hopping. There was I'm not calling the lady's name, but a certain lady, as the Belgians would say, the very fair skin. And I don't think that her feet, at that time, I think she was hopping. She's associated with education. But this person made sure that she was there, even though she was hopping. So people made sure that they get to the marches, even though they were hopping. And this situation that Barbados is found itself in, where lands could be easily taken away because of unthinkably wealthy allies. Don't you think Barbados is under siege? That's all I have to say.
Wow. Thank you, caller. Thanks for your always thank you for your comments. Thank you.
Correct.
Wow. This is very, very serious, folks. Thank you, caller. Thunder is saying something, and I want you to take note of it, guys. Take note. Most building tenders, Thunder is saying, take 3 months between tender and approval. And this is what I believe Ms. McLean was trying to say on the program, is the speed. This massive project was done in 27 days. Isn't that unusual? Why? Is it that they already had the person in place? They had their preferred person in place? Wow. Anyway, good night, caller.
Yeah, good night, Marcia.
Good night.
Listen to the viewers. Good night to all the viewers.
Yes.
I want you to add to that there is a company. You'll imagine there is a company that there is an investigation for $60 million with government funds. And yet the government is preparing to do more business, and the investigation hasn't concluded. That would never happen to a private sector company working with another private sector company. Where in the world a company under investigation could get further business and the investigation incompleted so we can give them more money?
Wow. Very good point. Good observation.
But you listen to the estimates, that was unbelievable. I could not believe that the company is being investigated. And if you pass outside, in fact, if you pass through St. Philip, that's outside the prison, there's a billboard talking about houses to be built there by the same company.
Wow. But because she did say last budget, when Mr. Thorne was asking the questions, she did say that that there would be an investigation that never happened. That's the other thing Barbadians need to, and you're saying that no investigation happened, but you are still doing business with that company.
It's a company.
Folks, let that sink in. So he's speaking about the Hope project. The same one, they said only $4 million was paid back out of the 60. So we have 56 million, and they have not, it is not yet paid back. The investigation did not start.
But we continue to do business.
But we continue to do business.
All right, good night.
Good night. Thank you, sir. Good food for thought right there about the whole project. Food for thought. Let me see. I think I missed a call. So let's see if I could get back that caller. Folks, this is the time to call. This is very serious. And I hope that we are making arrangements to be there on. Okay, there is a caller here. Okay. Yes. Good night, caller.
Yes, good night, Marcy, and good night to the listeners.
Good night, sir. Welcome to the Marcy Week Show.
Yes, thank you. I just want to give some quick little opinions and stuff that's happening in Trents. Trents is a place when the rainy season come in, it gets flooded a lot. Caller spoke about that before. But I just want to get more deep in details to say that in the long-term future, they're not concerned about the citizens in Trents, because when the flooding come in, when they finish develop up there, the water run more faster, because as the previous caller said, they're going to be building more they're going to put no more concrete, so the water will shoot more faster down Trents. And then they have nowhere to go but get back up on the citizens and the businesses and stuff. So that's a way also that you can find Trents being sold because of the pressure of the water and rainy season. There's a lot of water, people. Trust me, no two ways about it at all. They have no respect for the children that got to go to, wherever the children leave school, if they go left, right, the only way they will get if they want to go to the hill in the water, but catch down and flood into. I have seen school children walk through that water many times. And that's our next young generation that they have no respect for. So let's get down to some serious points here, right? When they're developing the West Coast, I see when you're coming from as far as probably Spikes up to Fitz Village, on the left-hand side coming south, coming Bridgetown side for those that know that area. The development that they're doing is not, they're not blending in the Highway 1, they're not blending in Barbados in their development. It's a greedy development from all of these big areas, from Royal Westmoreland, Silene, all around its hill, you know, you got Port St. Charles, you got all these places being developed. And very few locals could go to these places, sit down and say, let me go have a Coke or a glass of water or something. Yes. To feel like they're in Barbados with their development, feel happy to be a part of the development. You're having a lot of gated community business coming into Barbados, and they're destroying the fabric of Barbados because they have the money to change the landscape.
Let me ask you something, caller. What are you doing about it?
Well, one of the things that we're doing here is speaking about it as we speak, and then as we see action is happening gradually, because thanks to your show, you're seeing that people are calling in more now and are voicing their opinion, because we never had a platform to be heard. So thanks to your show. And it starts with this here, right?
Yes. Are you going to come on Sunday? Are you going to be there on Sunday at Gibbs?
Yeah, definitely on Sunday. I'm going to definitely pass and dedicate some of my time there for sure. And there's another thing I saw on television today where that, this is off the topic about the land and stuff, but this I actually want to come back to the land. My apology. If we could have developed a little mini oystings in Holetown, somebody probably spoke about this already also too. The amount of money that they sell Holetown for, in 10 years' time, I think it'll be gone. Why is it that we always look for people to develop our country for us? As somebody said, we have money in the credit union. Why are the people restricted from even taking part of this? People want their money to turn over for them. Too long, our credit union is not giving the people the cash to invest the money and get a proper return. We have enough money. We don't need nobody to come here and buy up Holetown to invest it for us. That the money in 10 years, so the money gone, we can't return. This is greedy business that they're doing. Selfish business. They're not even studying the people that make it for them in the past, their ancestors. They're not studying the future. These people, it's getting embarrassing. These people have no, they just doing it like they don't have no shame anymore. You know, the people in Barbados have so much pride. They're holding their head up high, but they're hungry and things like expensive. And these people writing about our own taxpayers' money with their jacket and tech. That's our money that they're writing about and are looking pretty with.
Yes.
Because if not for this politics thing, they'd be probably selling plastic bottles. They're taking this advantage. We put them there. We trusted them. And every day they get on like we are stupid.
Yes.
That's not good at all.
Not
it's
good.
getting worse, guys. It's getting really bad. It's getting disgusting.
I hope that you would I will see you on Sunday at 2 p.m. right there right there at Gibbs
I know where it is.
You know where it is, yes.
Yeah. I guess I want to say one more thing. This event came on find my mom watching telly, and on the telly there's this Chinese movie. I have been seeing it for a very long time. Because they're showing a lot of crazy programs on CBC. I was watching a program here and I hear somebody say, your nose is big and your nose is big. And then this program, somebody talk about somebody's nose and stuff. I mean, and the next thing, you find the Chinese movies are showing on CBC more regular. And the Chinese people here working and the TV system get changed to suit them. Because we don't know how we can enjoy this Chinese movie. It was showing today probably around 4:30, whatever. And it's not even in English. And we have a lot of Chinese workers here, so I think they take care of people outside more than their own. This is disgusting. And those characters that they're showing, they need to stop showing the kids those characters because some of them doesn't sound like got no sort of culture or nothing going on for our people.
So
it's disgusting,
we're basically destroying the culture everywhere we take it, even in arts and entertainment. Thank you so much, caller, for calling. Appreciate it.
Have a nice night. Okay, take care.
Thank you.
All the
Yes,
best. Okay.
yes, wonderful points. Thank you. Yes, Teroni, we agree with the caller. Wonderful. Guys, we have another 9 minutes. Let's keep it going. It's your night. This is your time. Your time is now. Right? So feel free to call. If we missed you, please call. If we miss you, wow. Somebody just sent me here. Oh, these are 29 properties around the island to be sold. These are people that have not paid land tax. You see what they're doing. This is what is going to happen. They institute this land tax. This is so awful. Dave, can you put this up for me, please? And just remove that colonizer from of the thing. Every time I see him, I get sick. Put up this notice here, bra issue sale notice for 29 properties. Put this up here for me, Dave. They put this up on the screen here. I want to hear your views on this, guys. Dave, did I send it to you? Yes, I did. I want to hear your views on this. I just think this is so wicked. This is very wicked. If you remember, Sonia Brown was speaking about this land tax and how people's land tax went up 150%. 200% land tax would go up, and then people can't afford to pay the land tax, and now they have 29 properties that's up for sale. And I want to hear your thoughts on that. And so you have poor people that are losing their properties because of a law that they put in place that you must pay land tax, that they know we can't pay the land tax, and now they're taking the properties. Did you all see this? This is on the bra side. Look at this. Let's make this bigger, Dave, so our audience can see it. Bra issue sale for 29 properties, a listing with land descriptions and map reference numbers for 29 properties around the island was issued in the Nation newspaper Sunday Sun on February 23rd, 2025. These properties are scheduled to be auctioned on March 27, 2025. Please note that Section 34 of the Land Tax Act, Cap 78A, allows for the Revenue Commission to order the sale of properties by public auction in relation, you know what they're saying. We didn't get the whole of it, but you can go and you can see, and this is what is happening. So while they are coming in and they're buying up, white developers are coming and buying up properties. They have instituted a law that we pay this land tax that they told us. This government told us. I saw it in the manifesto. If I'm wrong, let me know. They told us, Easy D, the manifesto, am I wrong? Easy D said that they were going to remove land tax. But the land tax is there, and now people are losing their properties because the economy is so terrible. The people are trying to find food. They scrape up the money and bought the land, and then they have to pay this land tax that you institute, and you told us that you're going to remove. And now there are 29 lots, families that will be out of their land because you plan to sell it by March 27th. In less than, in a little over a month, you're going to auction off the properties. I would like to hear your thoughts on this. Who's going to cause? Stop the quarreling in the chat. Don't fight each other. You don't fight each other. Where we need to turn our attention and our energies. Remember, we talk about let's get into a place of maturity. Don't fight each other in the chat. That's not where we need to put our energies. This is crazy. Anybody, any thoughts? Who is calling? Who is calling? Who is calling? Let me put back the banner there because I think that you probably don't remember the number. Oh Lordy. Well, we just get the raw end of the deal, boy. Yes, Jacqueline, I saw that where this older couple's house was in pristine condition, but was mistakenly put on a list to be demolished. It's a lucky thing that you know, these are older people. What if they were older and then they were not, you know, they had Alzheimer's or they were getting senile, etc. Can you imagine?
So,
good night, caller.
But was mistakenly put on a list to be demolished.
Well, 1 second, let me talk to the caller. Good night, caller.
Good night.
Good night.
I need to talk upon two topics.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Number one is education, and number two is the institutions that have been formed by the businesses themselves. I'll start by the credit unions. The credit union was supposed to be for the people, by the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you have the credit unions selling Barbadian people land at $150,000. How many Barbadian people can buy a lot of land for $150,000? This is the money that has been collected by the people, for the people, and now has been like a traitor to the people. They don't think this money after it's been collected and reached these large amounts is good enough now to lend the people. It brings me right back to the National Bank. The National Bank loaned all the money to the big conglomerate, and they never paid it back. And the Prime Minister, when Oinaf was Prime Minister, said the bank wasn't working. Trinidad bought the bank, and the first thing Trinidad did to become the best bank in the Caribbean was to lend the Barbadian people 100% loan.
Isn't that a shame with Bajans? Sorry, Bajans. How come Bajans don't see these things? Next topic. The two major the two things in St. Peter. The two where they call them? Where they dig the land down to bring in the sea to the water. What was the first one name? I don't remember the name. Anyhow, the name isn't important.
Okay.
But we dig the land in St. Lucie down to bring the water into the land to make two big things for the way. What do you call it?
Is it a jetty?
Marinas.
Marinas.
Two marinas.
Okay.
Yeah. Now these same marinas have become the torment of the people in St. Peter and St. Lucie. That's why they're not getting any water. Because the water up the hill is running out into the sea. We brought a man from Africa to tell us all sorts of folly, but nobody tell us that the stop gates, that the people used to go and have the little picnic where by the swamp down there was the reason why the water stayed in St. Lucie. Nobody tells us the truth. We bring people to tell us lies. We don't want to hear the truth. Next thing, the school children. There's a reason why the school children is behaving the way they're behaving. And the serious thing about that is the amount of pedophiles that they employ as teachers in the school. These are the people who are turning the children bad. As soon as your child doesn't comply with the nasty things that the teachers in the school that they brought to the school to do the things, they call your child a bad child and they do all sorts of things with it. Let's say, for instance, somebody coming into Barbados and asking little children if they want to be gay or if they want to be this or that. And the minister comes out and tells the people that this wasn't the first time. Doesn't that learn me something? Doesn't that tell me that this thing been going on for a long time? Well, how do we see our children? How do we take care of our children? We are always going to take our children and send them to the world. We are not going to investigate and see the things that are going wrong in Barbados, the major things. Why you can't see that the little girls and the little boys in Barbados, you don't become gay, you don't born gay. So when you see this large amount of little children behaving in this way, take note. The only two places these things can be instituted is in schools. Look at the amount of pedophiles we have in everything in our country. On the news media, in the schools, everything. We are teaching our children how to be no good. But nobody says anything about it. What about the church? Isn't the church seeing that these things is wrong? How come we're running to church and running to this place and this is the place that's destroying us? We're going right back to the old Constitution.
We just had a church leader who was, according to the report, the allegation is that he was teaching the young woman to sing, the pastor, but was molesting the child. So it's not just a school, it's everywhere, really.
But these things are old things. You look at Canada. You could look back to Canada and see what they did to the indigenous people in Canada. You look at Australia. How come we are so blind that instead of looking and seeing these things and having these things rent out of the things, we are introducing them? You can bring somebody from all over the world to come to ask our children these things, introducing these things, and the Minister of Education, who's supposed to be representing the children, telling the members of the public that this is the first time, and she still had her job. What are we really representing? What are we really teaching? What is the purpose behind the institutions in Barbados? That's the first thing I want to know. Are we not going to be truthful to one another? Are we not going to be truthful? That's why we got so much gun violence and all kinds of violence, because this is what we're teaching the children. Look at the minibus culture. Look at the minibus culture. Your children jumping off on a bus rather than you making sure that they introduce free things for the children in school, rather than we stamp out the foolishness with the minibuses. If you give them money to get off on the minibuses to learn these things, where the little girls get involved in all sorts of folly on the minibuses. When are we going to learn? When are the people of Barbados going to learn? If people who are teaching us shame,
these are important questions, and let me tell you, we as
isn't it any shame anymore? Or everybody doing the same thing?
Yeah. You know, let me just take this time to thank you for calling. We are actually 10:04, and I'm so happy. I wanted to listen to you because sometimes we don't get calls. So I'm happy when we do have callers, and let this not be your first or second or third time. Anytime this is your line, okay? You can always call.
I want to say one thing,
One thing, half a minute, because we're going to close now. It's 10:05.
It isn't going to take so much time. All I'm going to say is take warning.
Yes.
There's a song that says, take warning, you better do good. We are at the bottom of the gully, so it's time to take warning. Have a nice night.
Yes, hope to
have
see
a blessed
you.
night.
I hope to see you on Sunday at Gibbs Gully. I hope you come. Yes, caller, you're going to be there?
I'll try my best.
Yes, because we need to put some action to our talking. Yeah? We need the numbers. Okay. Thank you so much, and see you Sunday at 2:00 at Gibbs Gully. God bless you. Okay. Bye-bye. Wow. Thank you to all the callers who called in tonight. We do appreciate you taking the time to do that. And as we said, this year you're going to try to do something that you normally wouldn't do. Some of you are fearful, and I know that, but do something that you would normally not do. Break out of that fear. It doesn't just happen that way. Come down to Gibbs Gully, even if you have to wear shades so they don't know it's you. Wear a hat and shades. That's what is becoming Barbados now. Come on, man, break out the fear and let's come together. This is our country, and nobody's going to save it. We have to do it ourselves. Yes. All right, over to Dave. And Dave, I know he's always had something for us. Dave, thank you so much. Let me thank Sunny for being on tonight. I didn't hear Miss McLean. I know I announced her, and normally she's here, so it has to be something is I'm probably not feeling very well, so let me just apologize to you for her. And on Friday night, we're going to hear from the diaspora. We have people from the diaspora who have a problem with what's going on, and they're going to be logged on. We are going to have our dumplings from the diaspora. I'm hoping I can get as many persons from the diaspora. Also, Rose Corbin is going to be on Friday night. So she coming heavy. She heavy. So we're going to have Rose Corbin on Friday night as well, okay? God bless you all, and have a good night. Bye-bye. We're not hearing, no audio. Oh, no audio. We're having a little challenge there. All right, guys. Well, we're going to just sign off tonight and see you again. Oh, coming again. Dave is trying again. Go ahead, Dave.
God is on our side. He has overcome. Yes, he has overcome. We will not be shaken. We will not be moved. Jesus, you are here. Come on, everybody, say. God is fighting for us. God is on our side. He has overcome. Yes, he has overcome. We will not be shaken. We will not be moved. Jesus, you are here. What is this? I will live. I will not die. The resurrection power of life in me. And I am free. In Jesus' name. Carrying our burdens, covering our shame. He has overcome. He has overcome. He has overcome. We will not be saved. We will not be moved. Jesus, you are here. You are here. Covering our burdens, covering our shame. He has overcome. Yes, he has overcome. We will not be shaken. We will not be moved. Jesus, you are here. I will.